Hi. Hi again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for you. You know, having accepted this responsibility and have been on the battlefield for over 40 years, efforts to see thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, to see peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and happiness, and for each individual to live their dreams, my mission. But what I've found over these years is that is not happening based upon we, the people, and our conduct. What I have found is that we, the people, do not care about one another. You see, there's no way we could care about a God that we can't see when we can't care about one another that we do see. And we do know that there is a God, primarily because we see ourselves and we know we had no hand in the formation and building of this earth. And yet it is our home. It exists. So we can't see that power that did it, but that power exists. We know it does. And having that information, people use it differently. You have some people who want to appreciate and show their respect for that power by respecting one another and striving to create and maintain that type of life on earth as they can imagine it is in heaven. That would allow them to build the earth, the seas and the valleys and all that kind of stuff, sky and all that kind of stuff, a body and all that kind of stuff, working systemically to produce and do what it was designed to do. And so it's simple for me to say that if we want certain kinds of outcomes in life, we design it. And as spokesman and advocate for all of these years, I know that people here don't want it. They don't want it. People want money. They do not give a damn about one another. They have been led to believe that it doesn't matter about the end of times. It's going to come or not. It's not in their hand. But in the meanwhile, they want to make sure they can get the best that they can get out of it any way they can. Some want to follow basic rules, others don't. And all of these efforts, avenues of practice, of pursuit, and it creates confusion all around the place. But when we don't care about one another, when we recognize that if we got money, we can do those things that are necessary. If we don't have money, we can't. If we operate caring about one another, all of us can, and even more. But then, just like those that under the usage of money will abuse that, there are those that when you're trying to build a relationship with one another would exploit that. And so what I basically see truth to core is that this is an individual thing. It's not even following a group. Just be led by the spirit that you know and allow that spirit to be expressed through you so that we can know. And if you're on a good foot, we can smile. If you're on the bad foot, we can frown. But it's not about just frowning. I sit and I watch people, Donald Trump and all that evil that he has lifted up on a hill, driving people stone mad, and they just fuss about it. Who did what? How this is going to happen? What this was done? What we can do better? This and that and all of that. No answers. No answers. You talk about the rich people. We know the rich people are some of the most evil people on the face of the earth. We know that they don't understand it. As far as they're concerned, they came into a system that was already established. And it works well for them. And talking about changing it for anything other than bringing more to them just doesn't make sense. That's just a reality, whether we like it or not. That's a reality. These boys don't want to give up anything. In fact, they will kill thousands of people just to get a little bit more of that, which will bring them more money. And it doesn't mean a thing. So it seems to me, ladies and gentlemen, maybe one of the smartest things could happen for the human race today is for the whole world to cease to be with humans on it. I mean, it seems as if that's what the whole world is asking for. Because as I see it, the whole world has no respect for God. I'm going to say that again. As the way I see it, the whole world has no respect for God. And I'm not talking about all these different gods that people got across the land. Every God loves every individual. And the real God loves all individuals. All individuals. And anybody that serving a God, connected to a God that does not love all individuals is a demon. I want to say it just like that. I don't want to mess it up any kind of way. Because pain and suffering is the result of a lack of the knowledge and will of God. We talk about this world. I've told you every time I speak to you. It's simple. Everybody benefits from this earth. The coming to this earth is designed in such a way that your being here means that you will participate in the process of making sure that the resources that have been given to us are used as the people have determined are essential for their happiness, for their satisfaction in life. And as we, the people, engage ourselves to create an abundance of all of that stuff, it is so that none of us who having a desire, a need, or want to possess and utilize it will be denied nothing. That is the spirit of God's love. That is the spirit of God's love. Donald Trump doesn't have the spirit of God's love. Putin doesn't have the spirit of God's love. The Republicans don't have the spirit of God's love. The Democrats don't have the spirit of God's love. White folks don't have the spirit of God's love. Black folks don't have the spirit of God's love. Men don't have the spirit of God's love. Women don't have the spirit of God's love. So what are we living for? An opportunity to recognize that we don't have the spirit of God's love and create it? Or are we waiting for all the tsunamis to come to wipe everything that we have given some value to away from us? To leave us standing naked on the shores of a beach someplace with just that nakedness and maybe a memory of a yesterday that's gone far, far away, with a wonderment of what the hell are we going to do now? Looking around and maybe seeing people of different shades, men, different sex, different genders. Are we going to be trying to persecute them then? Are we going to be trying to curse them then and rule and control them then? Or will our hands be reaching out trying to find everybody we possibly can to help us come together and live? Will we be doing that at that time? And if we'll be doing it at that time, why in the heck does it have to take something like that to motivate us to take care of our business? I don't know why. But if it takes that, it'll get that. Now, I'm not asking the powers that be to cause that to be tomorrow, but I can guarantee you, however long it takes, as long as you're walking down this path, it is there. And you're not going to avoid it walking it. So somewhere down the line, you're going to have to make a change if you're going to avoid it. So if I'm saying you're going to make a change, why not make that change today? Why you got to go through all this suffering? Why you got to go through all these changing? Why you got to try to be God? Why you got to be superior to everybody? Why you can't think of all of this, my friends? There's a question each and every last one of us should have before we close our eyes and go to bed at night. And before we go to sleep, our focus should be, how do we win the victory? How do we come up out of this hell? How do we change? Well, anyway, thought I'd give you something before I go to bed. Have a good night.